So Vermintide 2 is like astronomically better than the first game. Let me explain. But before I get into the video, I just want to say thank you very much for clicking on my video. It really does mean a lot to me. I got a couple of really nice comments on my last video, and that really helped inspire me to keep making more of these reviews. So huge thank you for those comments, and I also want to give a huge shout out to my buddy Jubes and my sister for playing through the games with me, and my wife for doing her Photoshop magic on the thumbnail and making the title screens. Thanks again for clicking, and let's get into it.
Finished praying, have you?
Okay, so in Vermintide 1, everything from the leveling system to the loot system feels needlessly obtuse. I was really never able to even fully understand what leveling up does in Vermintide 1. There's some sort of meta we're not understanding, I'm sure.
It has to be.
I know it doesn't make your character any stronger, and that's about all I needed to know. And the loot, or should I say lack thereof? You see, my friend and I beat the base game of Vermintide 1, and throughout our adventure, I got 2 blue or rare weapons for the character I main, and my friend never got a single rare item. Now, I know you get better loot on harder difficulties, but the leveling system combined with a lack of any decent loot made harder difficulties nearly impossible for my friend and I. Not to mention the servers are pretty dead and we were usually accompanied by bots. But luckily for us, like a couple days before we beat Vermintide 1, the second game went on sale for free on Steam. So after beating the final and only boss in Vermintide 1, unless you count the rat ogres, but come on, they're not bosses, they're sponges. But I'm just being pedantic, sorry. We immediately jumped into the second game, and we were immediately impressed by just how much better the second game is.
Oh, that's a fucking troll.
Oh, that's awesome! It has a boss health bar, let's go!
Oh, dude, zombies!
What? Those are zombies? Blowing their brains out like because they're zombies.
This is much better, right?
Yeah, I
Don't you like
need
this?
loot. I need loot to keep
This
me
is
going,
loot.
you know?
This is loot right here. I already have a halberd that I just unlocked.
And before I get ahead of myself, I should say these games are a lot better with friends.
What's up, bro?
Now, I have played them alone, and I had a good time. And Vermintide 2 has a good amount of people playing it, and I usually don't get bots in my team in it. But again, definitely more fun with friends. Fight ain't over yet! Come on, boys!
You have my hammer.
Alrighty, so let's go down the list of reasons why Vermintide 2 is much better than 1. And to be honest, it's literally everything is just better in this game, but let me break that down. I'll start with the 2 things I mentioned earlier, leveling and loot. I should also mention real quick before getting any further that I've only played both Vermintide 1 and 2's base game. I have not gotten to check out any of the DLC, so maybe I'll do a follow-up video on what those are like in the future. Okay, back to the leveling system. So leveling up in Vermintide 2 actually does something noticeable, and I'm kind of nervous for the comments telling me I just didn't get the leveling system in 1 because I'm dumb, but let's be honest, no one's going to comment on this video. Anyway, you get new traits as you level up, and as you level up, you will also unlock these new build types for the character you have been leveling. This makes the replayability of Vermintide 2 huge, and with every character having multiple builds to choose from, and each of these builds having different traits to unlock through leveling, it just actually feels like XP means something. It gives me the same joy as headshots in Halo SWAT or tactical or whatever you want to call it, because in that mode headshots actually feel like they mean something. Oh shit, I'm getting all pedantic again, my bad. Why the fuck am I talking about Halo in a Vermintide video? Anyway, the leveling system is fun, adds replayability, and makes me feel like I'm getting headshots. Oh shit, sorry, I'm doing it again. Anyway, as you saw from the clip earlier, the loot in this game fucking rules. Whoever you are playing as, that is who you will get loot for. Man, that's a tongue twister. Try saying that 10 times fast. Anyway, makes sense, right? Well, not to Vermintide 1. Okay, I'm trying to get another sword. 50 down the drain right here. Going, praying my ass off for a sword that I don't already have. It's one of the swords I already have. But 2 just offers way more loot in general. You get a daily reward, plus you complete quests that'll give you a bunch of loot. And honestly, my friend and I didn't even realize this until like 4 hours into the game. Dude, there's daily rewards.
There's daily rewards?
Yes.
Daily rewards.
Dude, there's like all sorts
These
of
are
shit we
strange
can do.
times.
Aside from daily rewards and the loot you will get from quests, you will also get loot every time you play, even if you lose. Now, if you lose, you won't get as much or as good of loot, but it's still something. The levels in the Vermintide game can be long, especially if you haven't played the level yet, and they don't have checkpoints. So getting loot even upon death makes not only losing less awful, but it also makes the fact that you'll have to do that whole level over again less awful. In Vermintide 1, it's back to the keep with you, and nothing but a tiny bit of XP that doesn't do anything. Got 8 gray tokens.
Okay, great. Oh my god. Shoot me in the kneecap.
Alright, okay. I should mention that leveling up in Vermintide 1 unlocks certain things in the keep for you to use. And unlocking those does make getting loot in the game a little easier, but like I said, it's just needlessly obtuse. Back to the loot. In Vermintide 2, I got a gold weapon within like 2 hours of playing, so it gets an A+ from me. I got a golden greatsword? Alrighty, let's talk about the combat. Okay, the combat is pretty much unchanged, so I have to give credit where credit is due. Vermintide 1's combat is great. If you're unfamiliar with Vermintide 1 and the combat, it's hack and slashy, shooty shooty, and dodgy dodgy. Wait, that's not a good explanation? Okay, you have a melee weapon and a ranged weapon. You hack, slash, and smash with your melee weapon, with the ability to hold the melee attack button and unleash a more devastating attack. You shoot things with your ranged weapon. You also get an alternate fire choice that usually fires more than one round at once, hitting more than one enemy and doing more damage. And on harder difficulty, you want to use the dodge as often as possible. It's the meta.
Fucking maintain a good superiority over the rats. It's like you want to kind of herd them in like sheep. You make a circle and make it like a kill box. And you do it by just dodging around and just getting to the outside.
You'll find bombs and other explosives in the level that you can throw to blast groups of rats, and yeah, that's pretty much the combat for both of the games. Although in one they let you choose from the get-go, easy, medium, or hard, so naturally I chose hard. This wouldn't be a problem if the game was feasible on hard mode with a low-level character with the starting gear. And I know it is possible because my sister and I beat the first level on hard before we even got any new gear. But we had two pretty high-level people with us that definitely had some rad gear. Honestly, if they weren't there, we wouldn't have beaten the level. So like I said earlier, hard mode is nearly impossible at the start of the game. So I really feel it shouldn't be unlocked until after you've beaten the level on medium, which is exactly what Vermintide 2 does. This makes it so I know that I'm not expected to beat these levels on hard mode until I've leveled up and collected better loot. I still highly recommend you try out the harder difficulties. They definitely start to get mega nuts, but the hordes are bigger and you get more special kinds of enemies, and I don't know, it's just worth checking out. Aside from the change in how the games go about playing harder difficulties, the only other changes would be the change in enemy types. You still get all the same rats from 1, but you also get new rat types and completely new non-rat enemies.
The fuck?
Oh, what the fuck is that, dude? What the fuck is that? This adds so much to the gameplay. New enemy types means new things to kill and new ways to kill them. Man, that sounds kind of fucked up when I say it out loud. Not only does it add to the gameplay, but it's also more visually stimulating. A lot of dead stuff.
Yeah, what is this about, huh? Oh, we found him.
Anyway, on top of the new enemy variety, we also get bosses in this game that actually play differently than the rest of the enemies. In Vermintide 1, you only get the final boss, and even that's just a gauntlet of all the things you had to do earlier in the game, not a real boss fight. I mean, the game considers the rat ogres to be bosses, but like I said earlier, they're just sponges.
And he's just killing me. He's just killing me. He's focusing only on me.
Okay, so other than that, they have enhanced the gunplay a little, making certain guns feel a lot better to use. This gun, oh, it's even better in this game. Oh my god, this thing is satisfying to use. Oh, crap! They also added special abilities in Vermintide 2, adding that little extra spice the combat in 1 so desperately needed. Plus, build varieties encourage different playstyles with the same character, which 1 had to an extent, but it doesn't feel nearly as customizable as Vermintide 2 does. So yeah, the combat still kicks ass, even kicking more ass to be exact. I don't know where else would be a good place to say this in the video, so I'm mentioning it here. There's other game modes in Vermintide 2. One of them is kind of like a dungeon crawler mode that also has some roguelike mechanics to it. And then there are also weekly challenges that are super fun. Like, check this one out. You'll be put into a level and tasked with making it to the end of that level. But instead, the enemy encounters you normally find on that level are changed so that all the roaming enemies are now bigger enemies that split into smaller enemies upon death. It's really cool and makes for some incredibly tense moments of gameplay.
I never believed.
Holy shit, dude, this is awesome.
Oh my god, I have 4 huge ones on me.
Alright,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Ah, no,
Oh no!
Oh god, I'm in the tornado.
Oh god, there's a big one over here!
Where? How big is it? Where?
I got him down to a small one. I still need to play more of these different game modes, but they are there and they are cool. I should also mention Vermintide 1 has another game mode you can play called Last Stand. You just fend off hordes of rats for as long as you can. It's okay, but nothing compared to the extra modes in 2. Okie dokie, let me bring up something I immediately noticed in Vermintide 1. The sound design. So in Vermintide 1, I didn't find the sound effects during combat to be like visceral enough. I kind of wish the sounds were a little more visceral. You
Oh,
know?
I know what you mean, dude. It's kind of light, isn't it?
It's a little light for hacking shit up.
Yeah. What? Honestly, you're totally right, dude.
And if I'm being honest, I don't know if I've just gotten used to it or if it's really better in Vermintide 2. But all in all, it's really not a big deal and doesn't take away from the gameplay at all. The rest of the sound design for both games is great. Hearing the rats and other enemies saying weird shit off in the distance is awesome and can add some tension. They're like doing chants over here, it's creeping me out. The music always kicks in, letting you know shit is about to go down or shit ain't done yet. The music's getting intense.
Oh yeah. It's
Really
very
intense?
Needly.
Super duper intense? Oh shit! Oh fuck! The banter between the characters can get a little old after a while,
They're only rots. Treat them as such.
but all in all, I think it's good that it's there, and sometimes it can be really funny or even helpful. Like, sometimes one of the characters will call out when a special enemy is near. Assassin rat!
Right. Okay.
I don't know where, but my guys scream about it.
The girl just said gas rods down.
Okay, she must have killed it then. Let's go. Yes, rats down! I know, par for the course for these kinds of games, but I still found it to be a nice, helpful added touch. So yeah, good sound design.
Do not fear the rat man. Fear me instead.
Alright, I think this is a good time to bring up the level design. So for the scale of Vermintide 1, I feel like the lack of level variety is warranted. In 1, you get a handful of city levels and a handful of sewer levels. And again, giving credit where credit is due, all the levels of 1 are built well. I never found myself stuck. Like for a second, I'd find myself unsure of what direction to go, but I don't mind that. I'd rather that than something so on rails that even on the first playthrough, I can tell exactly where to go. This all carries over to the second game, but Vermintide 2 has a larger variety of level types. All still very similar to the first game, but like I said, that's not a bad thing. The levels look good, they're fun to explore, hard to get lost in, they're good. Good stuff. Okay, let me talk about the rest of the technical stuff that I can think of. So I'm not a huge graphics guy. I'm never really worried about how good the graphics are. Maybe it's that I grew up with like Super Nintendo and PlayStation 1, but yeah, graphics are never really my top priority. With that said, these games look good. The second one a little better, but all in all, they look good. But this happens less in 2, and I'm not sure if I like that. Look at him struggling on the wall. Alright, I'm getting a good moment. Getting a good moment caught on type over here. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh, holy shit. Alright, sorry, I'm coming. My bad. But yeah, good graphics for a guy that doesn't care about good graphics. Dude, the graphics are sick as fuck. Look at those gloves. I guess one thing I noticed as far as graphical capabilities is the amount of enemies on the screen in both games. Massive hordes of rats, crazy zombie dudes, all the special types of enemies. It really makes you feel like you're on the battlefield fighting for your life. This can make for really intense moments. Like, check this out. Oh my god, this is terrifying. Oh, their eyes are glowing. It's so scary. Fucking terrifying. Okay, let's talk about the interface. The interface in 2 has been updated and is just way better looking and way easier to navigate. And I think the hero screens look awesome. Whoa, look at the fucking character fucking screen. This is so nice. So yeah, Vermintide 2's interface is way better and much more pleasing to look at. And optimization. Pretty much everything I've mentioned has been updated in some kind of way to make the game run and play better. So yeah, good optimization. I saved this for the last though, the story and lore. So I saved this section for last because I'm honestly just unfamiliar with the Warhammer franchise as a whole. I know it mixes medieval fantasy and dark sci-fi. I have a few buddies that play the tabletop game and a few that play the Total War series. And I remember hearing about the Space Marines game on like Game Ranks or something, and I thought that looked pretty cool. I'm also very excited for Darktide. That game looks amazing, and knowing that it's being made by the same team that made these games makes me so much more excited for it. Other than that, I have no idea what's going on in Warhammer. So for me, the story of both Vermintide 1 and 2 is You are a merry band of heroes, not unlike something you'd find in the Lord of the Rings. There is an evil race of rats named the Skaven that want to take over the world or end the world or something. You and your merry band of heroes are there to stop them, and that's pretty much all you need to know. If you want to know more about Warhammer lore and whatnot, check out this channel. I've recently been watching some of his videos and I'm loving the lore behind Warhammer. I just don't feel I'm versed enough to try to explain it myself. Okay, yeah, well, that's why I think Vermintide 2 is better than 1. Hot take, I know. Anyway, drawing time. Okay, thank you very much for clicking on my video. The script is like 2,900 words, definitely the longest script I've written for YouTube, and I'm really proud of it. And if you made it this far in the video, you're an absolute legend. And if you enjoyed it, maybe consider liking and subscribing, maybe even leave a little comment down below. I'm sure there are some things I missed about the Vermintide series, so let me know in the comments. Also, I wanted to say I don't record myself doing the pencils of my drawings because it takes me a while, and it's kind of hard to see the pencils on camera, but if it's something you'd like to see during these parts, let me know and I'd be happy to start doing that. I also wanted to mention that I'm an amateur artist. I've only been drawing for like 2 years, so go easy on me, okay? I'll link my art Instagram if you like my art and want to see other stuff I've drawn. And I just gotta say again, huge shout out to my buddy Jubes, my sister, and my wife. Also, my wife is a badass graphic designer and artist, so I'm going to link her Instagram down below. Check it out. Alright, thanks again for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it and have yourself a wonderful day.